Universities and TVETs will no longer receive, under the new funding model, block funding in form of grants based on differentiated unit costs. The government has resolved that university funding will henceforth be student-centered and be apportioned to individual students according to their level of need.
According to the president, the new model will categorize learners into 4 categories. The first 2 categories of students are those who are vulnerable and extremely needy, who make up 29% of students joining university and TVETs this year, who are expected to receive a full government scholarship. The third category are the needy, who will benefit from government scholarships of up to a maximum of 53% and loans of up to 40%. Their households will only pay 7% of the total cost of their university education, while those joining TVETs and fall in this category will receive government scholarships up to a maximum of 50% and 30% in loans. Their household will pay 20% of the cost. The final category are the less needy students joining university, to be funded through a government scholarship of up to a maximum of 38% of the cost of the program and 55% in form of loans. Their households will pay only 7%. For those joining TVETs, they will be funded 32% for government scholarship, 48% for loans, and their households will pay 20% of the cost.
In our TVET institutions, 42,000 students this year will equally be funded fully by the government of Kenya. Their parents will contribute nothing.
Students will be required to apply for the government scholarship, loans and bursaries under the new funding model, which the president says is geared towards leaving no one behind.
The funding shall be through government scholarships and loans. For the first time, students whose households are at the bottom of the pyramid shall enjoy equal opportunity in accessing university and TVET education.
The president also termed the huge debt burden and reduced capitation as some of the biggest contributors of the financial crisis in institutions of higher learning.
Most of our universities are sagging under a heavy burden of huge debts arising from unpaid staff salaries, unremitted statutory deductions, pensions, SACCO dues, bank loans, and unpaid suppliers. In total, our universities are indebted to the tune of 60.2 billion Kenya shillings, a figure that continues to grow every month.
And to further address the financial crisis, universities will, in the next financial year, receive an additional funding of over 30 billion shillings.
Kenya shillings 54 billion was allocated to university education, both as grant and as loans. In the next financial year, under the new model, we are increasing the budgetary allocation from 54 billion to 84.6 billion.
The new model of funding of higher education will be effected this academic year, 2023-2024, and will start with a new cohort of 173,127 students joining universities and 145,325 students joining TVETs. All continuing government-sponsored students shall be supported in line with the previous existing funding model.